stories so funny. Our
Tell
whole
us-
history together, and
Tell
him
us the
suing
short.
me.
Tell us the short version.
Okay, so he was this guy who
Yes.
was a city councilor in Worcester who I got along with politically. And when I first started my blog, I would promote him a lot. And he jumped on board and fully supported it. And he used Turtle Boy to almost get elected mayor of Worcester. Like, he came very close to getting elected mayor in 2015. And then things got weird. He started doing this, his real true colors started coming out. He started doing this YouTube thing called Cheers Worcester, where he would like stir drinks and like act exactly like you saw in the Krusty video last night, just trying to be funny and sarcastic and witty, and just the whole thing just being cringe. Like, ugh. Like I wanted him to be like he was very good politically. Like he stopped Worcester from becoming a sanctuary city. Like he audited nonprofits. Like he was good, you know. But like at the end of the day, he was fucking weird, and things got to his head, and he thought it was like the Gaffney show. Like he was like a big superstar, and he started doing this weird show. And I'm like, okay, dude, can't you just be like let me be Turtle Boy and you be the politician, okay? Like the polished guy. I'm the guy over here who says crazy shit, but you're the suit who doesn't really go. You know what I mean? Like that. But he wanted to be me, and it was fucking weird. And eventually, he became so arrogant that in 2017 he's up for re-election, and I was like, okay, this guy's starting to get weird, but he's still good politically, so we still kind of need him around. And then he announced that he's leaving and going to Florida for like better things, like a month before the election. And we're like, what? I thought we were doing like a political revolution here. You're just fucking leaving. And then he got mad over something fucking stupid like that the Democrats did to him. And he makes this fucking post saying, well, my name is still on the ballot, so I want everyone to still vote for me, and I will come up there once a month and fucking attend meetings. And I'm like, okay. So I did this blog. I'm like, I can no longer endorse Michael Gaffney. He's fucking turning weird, and things are getting weird. He's not running for office anymore, but his name's on the ballot. He wants you to vote for him. I'm like, guy's fucking weird. And I just called him out. And his weightlifting videos too, those were weird. Like constantly forcing his wife to fucking like take videos of him. They came to my mother's house one time to like, my mom had a sign for him in the yard, a Gaffney for mayor sign. And so she goes to him when he's knocking on doors and he's dropping off a sign with her. And my mom, the only thing my mom ever wants to know from you as an Irish Catholic woman is, when are you going to have some babies? Right. So like, that's the only question she asks people. And like, so she meets Gaffney and his wife, and she's like, so when are you having kids? And Gaffney goes, and Corrine goes, I would like some. And then Mike goes, we have cats. And so my mom was like immediately like never forgot that. She's like, okay, like, I'm gonna vote for him, but I don't trust this motherfucker. And so like 27, like finally the election comes around at 2017. He goes from second on the city count, like only 8 people ran. He got dead last, like by a lot. And so see you later. He sues me after he launches a lawsuit and says that I cost him the election that he dropped out of and moved to Florida. And it was like the most absurd lawsuit you've ever seen. And there was a hilarious deposition in which I called him a dick during the deposition. And I called him, he's like, you have in this outline, like, you got to read the deposition of me and Gaffney. I published the whole thing. He's like, you said here, ha, 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 what a loser. What did you mean by that? And I'm like, well, you lost, didn't you? And he goes, yeah. Well, that's what losers do. They lose. So you're a loser. It's like, you know. And so he added onto it. He had like emotional harm. He said, he goes, I've gained weight. Like even Turtle Boy made me fat. Like I can't do any. Like it was the most pathetic lawsuit.
What's up with Massachusetts?
It's all your fault.
He used to fly back up here just to go to hearing dates. And the mistress. So he had this chick. I'm not gonna say her name because I like her. She was a teacher in the Worcester Public Schools, and he was banging her and telling her like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be together. Me and Corrine just have like a business relationship and blah 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 blah." And you know, this woman thought it was really gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen. But he used to bring the mistress and Corrine together to court dates for me.
What?
And I'm like, what the fuck? And
What?
so we won. We end up winning the lawsuit, and he fucking appeals it, loses, and this is early 2019 now, and that's supposed to be the end of it, right? No, he has not.
That's how far back this goes?
Oh yeah, 2018.
Oh my
is when
God, I had
supposed.
no idea. I just reviewed a video that Krusty Panties posted that he made, and then she posted it on her channel, and I was like, what is this? Like, this dude doesn't say anything of substance at all.
So let's get into the Krusty history, okay? So Krusty comes on board in like late 2018, and she works all through 2019 and the beginning of 2020, right? And so she takes on my enemies, and one of them is Gaffney. And I published a blog where I published all of her text messages about all the things she did to Gaffney, like using a gay sex hotline to fucking troll him and call him, like fucking with him nonstop, like all this shit, like horrible fucking shit. And then the second that Krusty and I ended things, he immediately befriends her. Like, he just immediately, like, puts it all aside and is like, you're my new best friend. And then he fucking he sends me a fucking letter threatening to sue me on her behalf that I represent Catherine Peter. You got to read that letter. The letter he sent me about that. Oh, and then there's the flyers. So when I moved to fucking Holden, there's about
I remember that.
What? I moved to Holden in like 18, and Gaffney, as a homecoming president, moving in president after he loses the fucking trial, sends to every house in Holden a fucking a flyer rather, filled with lies, calling me like, a sexual deviant, and everyone got this in their fucking mailbox. And it's like, what the fuck, psycho? Like, God knows,
welcome, I'm your neighbor.
Who the fuck pays for this? Like, for me? This is an obsession. Like, you ever just cost you over me? Dude. Like, bro, he can't. He's been doing it ever since. Like, if you go on his timeline, all he does is talk about me, and you never hear me talk about him. But all he does is talk about me, and it's just, and it's so tempting to like, because it's entertaining. Like, if I wrote this whole thing up, you'd be like, oh my God. But at the same time, do I give it air?
Well, it's funny because you talk about them becoming friends, like Gaffney immediately landing with Kate. Nobody brings people together like Aidan Carney. I always say that it's the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
Like you're a great divider, but you're really a great unifier. They don't even know.
Yeah.
And how does he not realize that he's built like a paraplegic, dude? Like, dude, legs, bro. It's not that.
I know, bro.
Like, just take one day out of the week, dude. Like,
I retweeted. Will, that was your tweet, wasn't it? With the two pictures side by side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the guy from Shallow Hal. I put him next to a guy from Shallow Hal with Spider.
That was hilarious.
He looks just like him. He looks just like him. I was like, what? That is uncanny.
I said that was the most underrated tweet on Twitter today when I retweeted that.
I remember reading that.
So we also got he also posted on one of those like, is this your man Facebook groups, like to catch cheaters, and somebody recently in Florida posted one like, is this your man Florida, and immediately we saw Gaffney on there. She's like calling him out. He's been lying about being married. He's a nurse, like all this shit. And we ended up getting in touch with that woman, and she's got stories, man. And so it's like, I kind of want to fucking, it'd be a very entertaining article. It wouldn't have any journalistic value whatsoever. But it would entertain the fuck out of you. You know what I mean?
Oh, now I gotta
yeah, right. See the dilemma I have here. I'm like a serious journalist. I'm like, do I waste my time with this? But it's kind of funny.
I found some in between trial content. I think maybe.
I mean, now's the best time, right?
Yeah.
Can we just acknowledge funny again? Because I think chat message, because I think it's true. Turtle Boy derangement syndrome should be in the DSM. I agree.
Yeah,
you're not kidding, man. It's fucking
really bizarre.
It
is real.
We've got a whole account. We've got a whole account Turtle Boy support group that exists just to deal with people with TBDS. It's amazing.
I love that. I love that account. The TB support.
TBDS.
You repeated something of mine today, and they're good. I like them.
Yeah. Do you need help?
Do you suffer from TBDS?
It's crazy, man.
It's
Side effects may include jealousy.